Welcome to OSBA Game of the Week. Welcome to OSBA TV Game of the Week, November 1st, the first game of the week. And it's a doubleheader today. This is Kelsey Wright-Johnson and Ryan Greco bringing you Orangeville Prep versus TRC Rise Academy. First up tonight at 5 o'clock.
It's going to be a fantastic game. Oh, we almost got a poster to kick this one off, Kelsey.
Joe Jones saying, not in my house, starts the day off with a block. Ryan, he's been pretty good with blocks in the last couple of games, having 6 and then 5 in the last game.
Yeah, absolutely. Been a big factor here for Orangeville moving forward.
That goes off of Rise Academy's Brandon Kenyon, who just committed, Ryan, to a big school. Kenyon just committed to IUPUI.
Wow. The fact that you just see all the commitments that are happening, moving throughout the year. A lot of kids starting to move up, making that big jump.
Vermeer Moore. He's going to get that first foul against Orangeville Prep. That one goes to number 4. Well, no, the ref called number 4. 4 is not on the floor. It's going to be TRC Rise ball on the baseline.
Kelsey, one thing we didn't get a chance to really talk about before this game started is these are two undefeated teams going at each other here in the OSBAs. Of course, Rise 3-0, Orangeville Prep 2-0 to start the season. So someone's going home with a loss today.
You got that right, Ryan. Exciting times. We also have another matchup after this, 7 o'clock. It's AI Prep and TRC. 2 more undefeated teams, and there's a foul against Matthew Alexander Moncrief. That's his second.
Some excellent defense there. That was number 15, Thomas Chilton, the former Orangeville player himself, actually getting it done on defense there. Doing a little bit of pre-scouting report, knowing kind of the intricacies of his former teammates, and able to get the charge there on Moncrief. On
top of the charge, he's also the only one to put up points on the scoreboard so far in this game.
How about that? Chilton ready to go. They're going to try and feed him the ball, it seems.
Stajic just rims out Joe Jones with the rebound. Here's Brezdikas, just checked into the game. Your bonus, the new addition for Orangeville Prep, goes up, and Chilton's going to get the foul.
Yeah, and Chilton, of course, he's very active so far to kick off this game, and no shock why, as we've just said, former Orangeville player last year. Really a guy that Rise has been kind of leaning on as far as scoring and production in all facets, and he's been proving that so far in the beginning of this game.
Your bonus, can't hit the first one. He'll have one more at the charity stripe. Alanis, your bonus, stands at 6'8". He's a 2022, one of the youngest guys on Orangeville Prep this year.
And of course, our bonus coming out of Lithuania. Lithuanian connection there.
Here's Stajic up top for Rise. Gets it over to Moore. Moore up to Chilton, releases from the top of the 3. That one is no good. Big rebound by Brandon Kenyon. And Brandon John finishes it off.
What a finish there by John. Excellent effort there on the second chance points. And Rise Prep off to a 4-1 lead to kick off this game.
Rathan Mays up to your bonus. Pops and shot, no good. Big rebound there by Moore.
Now look here, bonus looking a little bit more comfortable in this game than what we saw. Is there's going to be a charging call.
Foul there on Moore. Great defense by Shamar Rathan Mays. And Moore, fun fact, big Toronto Raptor, Kyle Lowry's, what word am I looking for? It's his uncle. So what does that make him?
That's his nephew.
There we go.
He's hailing out of Philadelphia.
I'm just waking up. I'm just waking up.
It's been a long ride in the traffic here, folks.
Your bonus in the key. Gets it out to Bartholomew, now over to Brezdikas, 9 on the shot clock. Brezdikas and Chilton going head to head. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Puts it up. That's going to be a shot clock violation. Great defense by Thomas Chilton.
And Chilton, what defense he showed there all over Brezdikas. Not something we're used to seeing. Brezdikas with nowhere to go hooks up the shot. I don't think we've ever seen anyone lock him down individually like that before.
Rise ball now on the baseline. They lead 4-1 with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first. Here's Stajic. Gets it to Moore. Moore comes off the screen, down the right-hand lane, goes up. That one off the glass is good.
What an athletic move there by Moore. And we saw Moore. He knows how to get up there. We saw him throw down a few in the warm-ups as well. Just a great athletic move to the basket. Leads with his shoulder. A nice finish, getting the defender off balance.
Rathan Mays hands off to Brezdikas. Brezdikas doubled. They find Joe Jones. He can't put it in. Gets his own rebound. Now up top to Rathan Mays. Kicks it to Saunders. Saunders, first shot of the game. That one's off the glass. Your bonus. Puts it up, but he's going to be called with a foul.
Yeah, it seems there was a foul there. He kind of shoved his opponent out of the way as he went for the rebound there. A little bit of a trip move. And Rathan Mays trying to get his team going there, finding the open man in the corner. But Orangeville Prep looking a little flat, something we kind of discussed before we went on air. It just didn't seem like they kind of had it in the warm-ups, and it's kind of showing right now in the early going.
Here's Moore now out to Kenyon. Kenyon just off the mark. An offensive rebound. Gets it to Chilton from the three. He puts it up. That one is no good. Rathan Mays down with it.
You know Chilton's going to want that one back.
Here's Keyshawn Saunders. Ryan, we talk about this every time that we've done an Orangeville Prep game. Saunders, one of those players you don't want to get in the open court if you are the opposing team. You saw there, he didn't get the bucket to fall, but he's going to go to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
Yeah, a few players in the league have his length and quickness and first step all in one package. Plus also one of the one of the thinner guys in this league, but I mean, very deceiving on how he uses his body. So smart when he goes to the rim and how he can create open spaces. He also has one heck of a Euro step as well to get by defenders when they try and size him up for a charging call. So, and to top it all off, he can shoot the three.
Absolutely, and the foul shot.
Yep.
He's the second leading scorer on Orangeville Prep right now, averaging so far in this season with 2 games, 22.5 points per game, just behind Ignas Brezdikas, the recent Michigan commit, at 25.5.
And that's deadly. Anytime you've got 2 players averaging over 20 points on a high school team, that shows just kind of firepower.
Yeah, because on the other end, it's Moore, who just scored there, a long 2. He's averaging 15 points right now in the 3 games that Rise have played, and behind him is Brandon John with 13.5, and that's their 2 leading scorers.
Yeah, you can see right now, maybe they're going to try and get some more right now as Akende's on the floor now guarding Rathan Mays.
Keyshawn Saunders now up top. Comes off the screen. That one's going to be worth 2. If it goes, it's no good. Big rebound by David Muncat.
Not a big fan of that shot, Kelsey, to be honest. Just kind of looked like he was just trying to see any kind of opening he could get. Some great pressure defense up top here so far by Rise Prep. I'm thoroughly impressed so far.
Akende from up top. The quick shot is good for 1, 2, 3.
John Akende, the former Father Henry Carr Crusader. And you can see Rise is excited right now. What a start to this game. 11-2, Kelsey. Who would have thought this?
5 minutes, 23 seconds left to go in the first period, and this is the same kind of Rise team that we saw in preseason when they beat Athlete Institute Prep. They have that hype. They get kind of the team going together on the bench, and it's showing out there.
And not just that, I mean, they also have the size. I mean, you got a couple of guys on this squad listed between 6'7" and 6'10". We're looking at about a quarter of the roster at that size, and really that was like the number one thing that we kind of were expecting to see coming into this season is, can teams match the size of an Athlete Institute or an Orangeville Prep? So far we have been seeing it. So now that these other teams have kind of stepped up their game a little bit physically, it's going to be interesting to see how Orangeville Prep, the defending champs, are going to respond after pretty much walking out and getting punched in the mouth to start this game.
Back on the floor, Orangeville Prep is going to keep the same 5. It looks like Rise keeping the same 5 as well. No substitution, so we still got 5 minutes, 23 seconds left to go.
You can see it'll be interesting what they pull off here as the refs. It looks like there's, I believe that's Moore on the bench, who's getting taped up. It looks like he got scratched up on the floor earlier.
No delay of game warning there. I think that's what Coach Johnson's looking for,
yeah.
Saying, why are we waiting for him? Rathan Mays now up top. Gives it to Brezdikas. Brezdikas is doubled, and he's going to go out of bounds. It's Rise ball.
And that looks like right there, once again, something we're kind of noticing here so far to kick off this game, Kelsey. Orangeville not really looking to kind of move the ball around. It looks like there's a lot of isolation, a lot of individual plays attempted right now, but the team defense of Rise just has everybody uncomfortable so far.
Stajic over to Akende. Akende pulls up from the 3. That one just off the mark. Offensive rebound by Moore. No box out there up top. Now Akende has 10 seconds on the shot clock. Drives, gets it out to Stajic from the 3. Off the mark again. This time Saunders boxes out and grabs the board. Saunders over to Urbonis. Urbonis drives, puts up the floater. It's no good. Able to get his own rebound. Gets it out to Brezdikas.
What length Urbonis has there on his hands. You could just see how long his arms are in that play there.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Saunders pulls up from the 3. It's just short.
The defense right in the face every time here.
Akende drives. Out of bounds, tries to get it in. No foul call on that one. It's going to go back Orangeville Prep, 11-2, and there's a substitution in for Brandon John. It's Brandon Kenyon making his way back onto the floor.
Kelsey, very physical game to start off this first quarter here. A couple of guys hitting the floor, guys getting taped up. I mean, although, you know, this has got to be the kind of basketball you love to see. Very highly athletic, very highly competitive. Let's see if Orangeville Prep can now kind of get themselves back into an offensive groove.
Rathan Mays to Urbonis. Urbonis puts up the floater. That one's no good. Joe Jones with the rebound. Rathan Mays into Brezdikas. 7 seconds on the shot clock. The fadeaway goes in. That's the first field goal for Orangeville Prep.
That was pretty. I'd like to see his Brezdikas a little bit more confident in that spot right there and just take the shot right away. Don't give yourself a chance to lose it, but keeps his composure. Nice little turnaround fadeaway, and Orangeville Prep getting just their second bucket of the game.
Well, they had 2 foul shots. That's actually their first field goal so far in this game with 3 minutes and 25 seconds left. Ramir Moore goes up off the glass, no good. Brezdikas.
See a little Lowry in him on that one.
A big steal there by Stajic. Got to get back on D if you're Orangeville, and Urbonis is going to get the foul, and it's an and 1 for Ramir Moore.
And that's a young rookie mistake there by Urbonis. If you're going to go and challenge a guard like Moore, as aggressive, you got to do the scouting report. You got to watch the game tape. You know that he wants to be physical when he's driving to the basket. He's shown that every single time he's went there. If you're going to foul him, you got to make sure you're getting right over top of him and making sure there's not going to be any room for error. If you're going to take the foul, you're going to have to foul him hard.
Substitutions in for both teams. For Orangeville Prep, it's Sean Bartholomew coming back into the game. And for Rise Prep, for the first time, we are seeing Vladimir Lukomsky.
And just one other thing to build on that, Kelsey, you know, Coach Johnson, I'm sure in a situation like that where you have a turnover at the middle of the court and it's a fast break, he's not going to get mad at you for being a little bit more physical and just trying to draw the foul to prevent the easy bucket.
But he will get mad if you're not getting back on D.
And that's the thing, right? So when he's kind of caught in between two things there, you got to make sure you make, if you're going to make a mistake, make the more aggressive mistake and prevent the points.
Rathan Mays up top. Drives, it's stolen into the hands of Kenyon.
He threw it right into Kenyon's chest there. I actually don't know where he was trying to throw it.
There's going to be a jump ball called. It's going to be Orangeville Prep ball. 2 minutes, 52 seconds left to go in the first.
Hey, Kelsey, if I'm Rise Prep, I'm looking to try and hit as many of these open shots as I can because you're in the groove right now. The momentum's going your way. You're getting your open looks. You have to start knocking down some more of these open threes because we both know that Orangeville Prep, when they get going, they can score in buckets.
Saunders up top over to Rathan Mays. Bartholomew looking inside. It's stolen by Munecat. Munecat now taking on 3 Orangeville Prep players. No good as Joe Jones goes up for the block, and Munecat's going to get charged with the foul.
And Munecat there, he's going to want that one back as well. Very, very physical move to the basket. Excellent effort, though. You have to admire it with 3 players draped all over him. But even better job by the defense. You got 3 guys around him, and every single one of them managed to stay physical without having to draw the foul.
Julian Lepp checks into the game for the first time for Orangeville Prep. Kicks it to Saunders. Saunders drives down baseline just short. Bartholomew able to get the rebound, get it to Saunders, and he goes up. There's a foul on the play, and Saunders will go to the charity stripe for 2.
Yeah, Saunders, he's not going to mind that at all. Just gets a chance for the team to kind of catch their breath for a second, go up. He's going to get a chance for some free points at the line. So starting to see a little bit more ball movement, a little bit more team movement. It looks like coming out of that timeout, everyone understands, okay, we're not going to be able to just walk over these guys. We have to start playing together as a team. It's not going to be an individual showcase right now. We have to take these guys seriously. And I think they've kind of learned their lesson from the first couple of minutes of this quarter.
Substitution in for Rise Prep for the first time today. We're seeing Sydney OKK, our favorite name on Rise Prep.
Quite the name there. That's one you're not going to forget anytime soon.
Saunders nails both, 13-6, 2:20 on the clock. Stajic bringing it up for Rise. Gets it up to Kenyon. Kenyon launches. It's off the mark. And that's off of number 4 in Lukomsky. It's going to be Orangeville Prep on the baseline.
And that's one of those kind of shots. Once again, wide open. You got to try and knock those down. You can see now the Rise Prep, ever since that timeout, they've only scored 2 points. Can't cool down against this team. You got to keep putting the pedal to the floor. Julian
Lepp, beautiful, beautiful pass in there to Joe Jones as he splits the double, able to get it now almost at double digits, 13-8. And quickly, and well, I'm going to say slowly but surely, actually, I look up and it's almost
a
the lead has,
game.
Yeah, thanks.
No problem.
The nice floater down the baseline. Keyshawn Saunders gets the board.
Yep.
And it's going to be Stajic who's charged with that foul.
You just need any evidence of how fast Saunders is there. He was so quick there, no chance to get out of the way, did the defender. You knew he wanted to kind of turn and run with him, but Saunders just went right into him. He's just got such a quick first step. It's one of the fastest I think I've seen in the OSBA, period. And that's saying something coming from a guy who's standing 6'5".
Yeah, absolutely. Saunders, 6'5", 2018. Nails the first shot.
You know, you see a guy that moves that quickly, you're expecting him to be standing at about 6'1", 6 feet. Got a lot of guys that have that kind of speed in the OSBA at that size, but Saunders' first step, I think, is the fastest of anyone that's over 6'4".
In his first 2 games with Orangeville this year, he had 18 points versus Kings Christian and 27 points in the last game against Vaughan.
There's a foul.
There's a foul there on Julian Lepp. It looks like his momentum just kind of got the best of him there,
yeah.
A little too quick for his own good. Takes down Dragan Stajic, and he's going to the line for 2. Both teams in bonus for the next minute and 24 seconds.
You see Coach Johnson gave him a little thumbs up there very quickly. You know, he knows that Lepp's out there to shoot the ball. He's there to, obviously, you want to stay aggressive on D, and once again, he'd rather have the aggressive mistakes than the passive ones.
Well said, Ryan.
It would drive me nuts if I saw it that way.
It drives me nuts watching it. Stajic nails the first one, 14-10. And
Stajic getting it done there.
Brezdikas, a quick little stutter step. Brings it out now, 14 on the shot clock. Over to Lepp. Lepp launches from the 3. That one rims out, and Joe Jones comes down with the rebound. Over to Saunders. He puts it up from the 3. That one just gets out, and Joe Jones picks up that board, finally brought down by Brandon Kenyon.
Kenyon throwing the elbows there.
That was a big elbow right in the face of Sean Barthélemy.
And the ref's saying play on as we keep going.
Here's Akende, turns the corner left. The step back, no good. Brezdikas grabs it, a little behind the back, a little stutter step, showing why he has committed to Michigan. Just can't buy the basket. Ryan, did we see? I think we saw a stutter step, a behind the back, an in and out dribble, and then a finger roll, and a Euro step, and then a finger roll.
That was, I mean, the arsenal this kid has is just absolutely
It's methodical.
Incredible.
Like it's,
yeah. It's they're just, and that's why, you know. But something that's interesting here that I'm noting is that, you know, Rise Prep, we've noticed now in the second half of this first quarter, a lot more lackadaisical on defense. You know, they're staying with their guys, but you're not seeing the same kind of pressure, whereas Orangeville Prep's getting a chance to kind of look around. I saw one moment right there when Brezdikas in the previous possession where he was dribbling down here. That's a moment where you got to double team him in there, but one guy
if that's your game
off.
plan, and it's looked like it's their game plan so far this game.
That's exactly what it looked like in the beginning, and it looks like they kind of fell off a little bit there, and now they're giving them chances to move the ball around. You can't afford that with these guys.
2-point game, 30 seconds in the first. Moore being guarded closely by Brezdikas. Up to Stajic.
Oh, nice play.
Gets it out, that one off the mark, but Moore on the weak side, an easy rebound, and puts it up off the glass for 2.
Yeah, that's one that's going to hurt Orangeville there. It's 11 seconds to go. You got to box out.
Here's Brezdikas now up top. He's doubled over to Barthélemy. Barthélemy, the Euro step goes up. It's no good. There's 2 seconds on the clock. Akende is going to get the shot off at half, and it's just short. So Ryan, at the end of the first, it's 16-12. And if you were to tell me that was going to be the score 3 minutes into this first quarter, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah, really. I mean, Rise Prep came out and firing on all cylinders. This is their home court, and they proved that, defending it valiantly in the first quarter here. The crowd was getting behind them. They were getting hyped. The bench was getting hyped. But then, of course, just basketball's a funny game like that. You got the timeout. Orangeville had a chance to kind of regain their composure. Rise Prep, clearly the energy had gone down just a little bit on defense. You're not seeing as many turnovers. Orangeville able to move the ball around, guys realizing that it's not about just them. They're starting to play as a team again. And lo and behold, they coming out of that timeout, they outscored Rise Prep 9-4 going into the end of the quarter.
I think it was a mix of kind of getting that energy back, getting your sea legs off of you from the 2-hour drive, but also kind of finding the right five who are going to go out there and mesh well together today, because it's going to be a different five every single game, and we've seen that with Orangeville Prep. Both games they've played in the OSBA this season, they've had different starting lineup for each game.
Yes, and really, when you have a talent when you have a lineup that's that deeply talented, you know, there really isn't a 10th or 11th man on these Orangeville Prep teams.
Orangeville only has 8 players.
Yeah, well, and that's
or 9.
8 players that are eligible right now. So you know, you're going to see that, as you said to your point, Kelsey. There's going to be a whole bunch of different lineups going based off of whoever they're going to be facing. Everyone's going to need to be involved. I mean, Urbanus in that first quarter, I mean, how many touches did he get compared to the last game of the week that we saw him live? He was very, very timid the last game. This time around, not hesitating, putting up shots, doing what he needs to do, and it's only a matter of time before he gets going.
The great thing about Urbanus is last time we saw him with the game of the week last week against Vaughan, he had only had 2 practices under his belt with Orangeville Prep straight off of the plane from Lithuania. So now he's kind of got a week under his belt. He's gotten to know his teammates more, and you're right, it shows out on the court how much more comfortable he is. He's gotten a couple floaters up, taken a couple threes where, I mean, last game, I think he ended up scoring 7 or 8, but it was on 3 shots.
Yeah, it really, and it was kind of more garbage time as well than anything, but you're seeing him right in the thick of everything as he's currently on the bench. But it'll be interesting to see if Brzdikis and Saunders can get going, because those are going to be the 2 biggest factors. And speaking of which, Brzdikis with the steal.
Steals it right out of Thomas Shilton's hands. Keyshawn Saunders goes for the jam. And number 12, Victor Nosaudas, gets charged with the foul. And that is one way to get the crowd and your bench pumped up coming out of the quarter break.
And the sounds you're hearing in the background, that's AI
both
Prep.
teams.
Yeah,
that's both teams. We
actually,
see
yeah, sorry.
Akende there.
A lot of guys are getting up.
McCoy.
Yep, McCoy's up there. There's a bunch of them up there that both the TRC Academy and AI Prep getting excited over that one. And they're making me look like a genius. Brzdikis with the steal and Saunders with the poster. Thanks, guys.
It's now a 1-point game. Akende up top. Drives left. Dishes out. Nosaudas goes up. No good. Big rebound for Joe Jones.
A 1-point game now. Can Orangeville get their first lead of the game? Saunders
loses it. Great defense there by Thomas Shilton. Here's Akende, hands off to Brandon John. John kisses it off the glass for an easy 2.
What an athletic move by John. That's not a move that we really would have seen him pull off last year. Just showing off the acrobatic body control in midair. Great finish by John. You can see that he's been working on his game.
Julian Lepp now up top. Gets it over to Saunders. Saunders comes off the screen. Over to Brzdikis. He pulls up from the 3. Brzdikis loves those quick threes. Doesn't think about it. Releases, and his shot has gotten so much better. And now a tie game. 8 minutes, 42 seconds left to go in the first half.
See the momentum swung a little bit here.
It's going to go Orangeville Prep ball. Akende loses it. Now it's Akende and Rathan Mays talking to each other in front of the Orangeville bench.
Oh, those two are very, very familiar with each other. Plenty of battles over the years between those two growing up. You're going to be seeing a lot of that for the rest of the night. I mean, that actually might be the matchup to watch here with Akende and Rathan Mays.
Rathan Mays spots up from the top of the key. It's good for 1, 2, 3.
There's the talking. Here we go.
And just like that, Brandon John finds himself open underneath. A big block by Joe Jones, and he grabs the rebound as well, but gets it right into Stagic's hands. 22 seconds on the shot clock. Akende from the 3, it's no good. And that's going to be out of bounds, Orangeville Prep ball.
I'm actually not too mad at that shot there by Akende. Caught it in rhythm, set himself up. He had enough space between him to knock it down. He's just got to have that killer instinct in him to knock it, to hit that one there.
Here's Rathan Mays up top, comes off the screen. their double. They try and get it into Joe Jones there, but Dawson John picks up the ball. No foul call, Ryan.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of a mix-up there. And there's clearly a kick ball by Brasdikis.
Great defensive move there, though, by Brasdikis, excuse me. It was going to be a 2-on-1 if he was able to get it on the block. Sticks his foot out, stops it now. Everyone can get back and get set on defense. 18 seconds left to go on the shot clock. It's a Rise ball on the baseline.
Yeah, that very well could have been an easy layup on the baseline had Brasdikis not stuck his foot out. And it was, on top of that, just great vision by Rise to move the ball in that space. Once again, we're saying these are two extremely well-polished teams for so early in the year. I mean, it's just incredible watching the athleticism on the floor right now.
Stajic up top, 15 seconds. Akende has it now on the 45. Comes off the screen from John, pulls up from beyond the 3. That one off the back rim, and it's Joe Jones who taps it to himself and pulls the board. Rathan Mays now up to Brasdikis. Great defense there by Dawson John, or by Mooncat, but Brasdikis still able to get it kind of the backwards tip in for 2 points.
Yeah, that's what, I don't think he's ever scored like that before.
Which is a crazy thing to say, how much Brasdikis scores.
Yes.
Always finding new ways.
Yep.
Here's Mooncat up top. He drives right. Great defense by Urbonis. Great finish there by David Mooncat.
And Mooncat, what an impressive finish there. Just once again, showing off that physicality. Just gets up a little bit higher than his defender. Nice little kiss off the glass. You got to love the fundamentals on that one.
Julian Lepp drives, dishes out to Rathan Mays, puts it up from the 3. That one just off the mark. Joe Jones, the only one in there going for the rebound.
And Jones almost got it, too. It didn't look like any of the Rise players wanted the ball.
Stajic gets it over to John. That's Dawson John. It's a little brother, of course, of Brandon John. Just steps out of bounds. 6:40 on the clock, and it's Orangeville ball on the sideline. A substitution in, excuse me, sorry, Ryan. He's going to be subbed out, and into the game is Ramir Moore.
I believe Brandon John also subbed out there for, just trying to see the number there.
Sydney Okeke.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey. Another turnover. You see Brasdikis and Rathan Mays trying to recommunicate, if you will.
Talk it out.
Yeah. Figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah, how they're going to break that press next time.
Yeah.
It's Stajic now up top. Over to Akende. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Akende turns the corner, but Brasdikis able to reach around and knock the ball out of bounds. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now it's Rise ball on the baseline.
Yeah, you can see once again the defense is really kind of clamped down here for Orangeville Prep.
Akende gets it into Stajic. Out to Mooncat. Mooncat looking for the isolation, goes up off the top glass. It's no good. Still hasn't touched the rim. That one is no good. I'm not sure that touched the rim either, but it's going to be an out of bounds off of more Orangeville Prep ball on the baseline.
There's going to be, yeah, it just kind of looked like the referee didn't call anything because it looked like it was just about to be in the possession of Orangeville. So they thought
until it was knocked away.
Yeah, exactly. And you could clearly see an Orangeville player kind of touched it as it was coming down. They were both wrestling for it. So I guess maybe that's what the referee felt it wasn't necessary to blow the whistle. But regardless, we have a timeout anyway, Kelsey.
Timeout is called. 6 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the first. It's 23-20. Orangeville leading the way over TRC Rise. We'll be right back after a quick break. Welcome back to OSBA TV. Just over 6 minutes left to go in the first half. It's Orangeville Prep ball up top. Here's Lepp, comes off the screen. Kicks it out to Saunders. They get it to Brezdikas. Brezdikas loses it, and it's going to be a kick ball.
Yeah, that's a great call by the referee there. Notices at the minute the reason the turnover happened in the first place, there was no action from the hands. The ball just kind of bounced on the floor and took a weird bounce as it hit the ground. Of course, the only way that would have happened is if it went off a shoe.
10 seconds on the shot clock, although I think it should reset to 14 if it's a kick ball.
Yeah, I think the refs might be saying it right now, actually.
The referees are going to reset that to 14.
Clock to 14. You can see he made the signal there, but we're still not seeing the change.
But still at 10. Yeah, they did make the signal over. It's not going to matter, though, as Julian Lepp puts up a triple.
Julian Lepp, that's always a good sign for Orangeville Prep. If he gets a shot going early, that's a great thing to see for him, because he's been having some trouble lately just getting the open shot in contests against the better teams.
Stajic wide open, gets it to Akende. Akende redrives that same path. Ramir Moore now in the corner. Gets it out to Munecat. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Munecat from the top, off the back rim. Big rebound by Brezdikas, almost stolen there by Stajic, but Brezdikas keeps it in his possession. On the left-hand side, he goes up, and that's going to be a foul on Munecat. Brezdikas at the line for 2.
Yeah, Brezdikas, you could see Saunders was kind of lurking in the background there, looking for the jump, but you could actually just see right there. And here's a sign of how well these guys know each other. You could see as soon as he saw that Brezdikas kind of committed to his left, Saunders literally stopped, kind of worked under the rim and looked for somebody to box out. He knew right away that Brezdikas wasn't going to give him the lob, so he was just getting ready for the rebound. Even
flashback to the championship game.
Yeah, exactly. And even after that, after the whistle's been blown, Brezdikas kind of gives him a look, and Saunders just going, no, man, it's cool. I get you. Like, we know, you know what, I know exactly what you're capable of, and they trust each other. You can see it.
It was kind of the mirrored in the championship game last year. Brezdikas drove on the right-hand side a bit too strong. Who was there to clean it up?
That was Saunders.
That was Matthew Alexander Moncrief, actually, but because they know each other so well, he knows.
Yes.
Orangeville Prep now showing a zone. Here's Dawson John. Stajic gets it out to Akende. Akende puts it up from the 3. It's good.
And that's something that you're going to want to do. If you see that zone in effect, your shooters have to be ready to catch and release on those. There's no time to dribble around and mess it. If you get an open look, go.
Moore. It's going to be a blocking foul. The ref had no idea what he was going to call there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He went for the charge. He turned it into a block. And that's it's a turnover by Shamar Rathan-Mays. It's also the foul goes to him as well, and Moore will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, Rathan-Mays trying to plead his case there to the refs, but it did look like at the last minute he was kind of still fidgeting his feet a little bit when he was trying to get set. And it's just so hard to get set right away and be ready for that with a guy like Moore who's coming and barreling in on you so quickly.
Ramir Moore, a big addition to this Rise team. Ryan, how important has he been for this team so far in the 3 games they've had?
Well, I mean, really, it says here on the list that he's a forward guard, but the truth of the matter is that, you know, averaging 15 a game as well, he really is more of a point guard at 6'5". You see him running the floor. You don't really ever see him in the forward position. And, you know, for a guy his size, he loves using his physicality. It's just an impressive sight. Look at that, another steal right there.
A big steal by Ramir Moore. That's another kick ball the ref is calling, and it's going to be Orangeville ball on the baseline.
Moore, you know what, though, Moore's upset, but I don't know what he should be upset about. He clearly rolled his foot over the ball, and before he picked it up, it was a kick.
Another turnover there for Orangeville Prep. It's Rise ball now in the open court. Akende over to Dawson John, goes up. That one no good. Brandon John there to clean it up.
Literally, that is literally Big Brother there helping you out.
That's what Big Brothers are for, right?
Yeah.
Tipped out of bounds by Ramir Moore. It's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline.
Well, that and beating you up.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Joe Jones subs in for Orangeville Prep. Alana Bonus takes a seat on the bench. 4 minutes, 21 seconds left to go in the first half. Orangeville Prep moving the ball. Here's Brezdikas. Tries to get it into Joe Jones, but it's Dawson John who gets there, knocks it away, and it's going to be Orangeville ball on the sideline.
And Kelsey, that's another sign right there of Rise Prep, just their size, how they match up. Normally, that's a pass that Brezdikas sees right away and throws it inside to John, but because of Brandon John's length, he's able to disrupt that passing lane.
Brezdikas pulls up for the long 3. It's no good. Julian Lepp gets the rebound out to Saunders. Dawson John gets it in his possession now. Ramir Moore on the right-hand side goes up. Brandon John is going to get that rebound. I think they're going to call a foul on him for an over the back over Brezdikas.
Yeah, definitely over the back there. Of course, Moore looking for the call, but very physical take, but it just kind of looked like he just came in a little bit too hot, if you will. And Brandon John, all credit goes to him for being there, but you can't do that to a defender. You can't just jump over top of him like that.
Not when they're that much taller than you. It just makes it so much more obvious.
Yes, exactly.
Brezdikas got to get it over. Gets it to Joe Jones. It's tipped out of bounds. It's going to go back to Orangeville, and they've got 13 seconds on the shot clock.
13 seconds on the shot clock. Once again, though, we're starting to see that offense stagnate a little bit. Guys are missing cuts and screens to the basket. Open guys. We're just not seeing the sharp passing that we're used to seeing from Orangeville Prep.
Brezdikas turns the corner on the left-hand side, goes up, no good. Joe Jones gets the own rebound. He tips it, gets his own rebound, and puts it off the glass for 2 points.
And that's why he's on this team here. He's a huge, huge factor for them in the middle. One of the few guys in this league who still kind of plays like an old school big center, cleaning up the glass.
Akende now up top, over to Dawson John, into big brother Brandon John, goes up, no good, and it's the battle of the bigs down low.
Not many guys can make Brandon John look small.
Shamar Rathan-Mays goes up, can't get it to fall, but amazing take as he's able to keep it high because he is the smallest person on the court right now, standing at 5'11", keeps that ball high, goes up on the right-hand side, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And that's about 5'11" with the shoes on, mind you. He's a very, very generous 5'11". You could see just how high up he gets when he takes those little 2 quick steps and then explodes.
But I mean, his brother was similar when he was in high school, and he's grown to a quick, I think, 6'3", 6'4" now, Xavier Rathan-Mays on the Knicks. So, I mean, Shamar still has a lot of time to grow, and right now he's just kind of, I want to say perfecting, working on those guard skills.
Yeah, that's completely accurate and fair to say, given his family history.
Here's Akende, now the smallest guy on his team, standing at 6'1", over to Stajic. Right back to Akende. They're playing the 2-man game right now. They allow Brandon John in that 2-man game, and it gets Akende wide open on the 3, just rims out.
Akende's got to make that shot there. Excellent play.
Saunders with it is inside hand. We see it so often. It's so beautiful, and it's good for a quick 2 points. As they had 2 Rise players on the ground on the other end, they had those numbers going into that fast break.
And don't look now, Kelsey, but they've opened up an 8-point lead for themselves. Orangeville Prep showing why they're the defending champs right now.
Akende drives baseline. A nice pass into Brandon John. He's usually so great. We see those are rare misses from Brandon John.
Yeah.
That's going to be out of bounds on Orangeville Prep. Rise ball on the baseline. But from the mid-range, Brandon John is so strong from that 15, 17-foot range.
It's funny, you know, this is one of those weird things that you might call the characteristics of a game, right? This game is a very rough and tumble kind of characteristics it's got going on right now. So it just seems like any time a player has gotten a little bit of space to himself where he can actually hit that mid-range jumper, he's kind of hesitating or he's overshooting it a little bit because he's expecting to get hit somewhere at some point.
Moore from the corner, it's no good. Keyshawn Saunders gets the board. A beautiful thread the needle over to Shamar Rathan-Mays, and he puts it in for 3.
Yeah, it's going to be time for a timeout here, and Rise Prep needs it because they find themselves now down 37-26. What a turn of events, Kelsey.
Just under 2 minutes left to go in the second, and Ryan, that goes to show, we talk about this all the time and we make fun of ourselves for saying it all the time, but a lead of 20 or more, let's say, even in the first half, is nothing. There's so much time to come back because these games are so long. There's so much basketball to be played, and Orangeville Prep is just going to show it right now, 37-26.
Yeah, not just, and as well, you know, you got to give the credit to the kids that are on the floor. I mean, these are kids that have been playing basketball their entire lives. This isn't going to be a moment that's going to be too big for them. They're going to find their opportunities to go and pass the ball off and make shots. And really more than anything, I mean, Orangeville Prep showing their composure. This is a team that's been all over the United States, all over Canada. They faced some of the best teams on the planet. They've been on TSN. They've done national games. They've done games on ESPN. Both of these teams have a lot of experience in those big moments. So, you know, going down 11 points in the first, 3 minutes of a game, well, for most high school teams, that may be a tall mountain to climb. But for players of this caliber at this level, no, this is just another day at the office. And they knew they were going to have to work themselves back into it. They knew Rise Prep at some point was going to have to show a little bit of fatigue. and they knew they had to step their game up, and they've done exactly that, and they've shown why they are, in fact, the defending OSBA champions.
It reminds me a lot of a game last year. It wasn't a game of the week, so unfortunately you didn't get to watch it on the stream, but it was Orangeville Prep versus Vaughan. Vaughan went up 20 even late in the fourth. Orangeville still able to come back and win that one by 2 points, and that's kind of what it reminds me of here. They just get their hard hats on and they get to chipping away.
Yeah, even when they play even when they play flat, they find ways to win.
Moore in the corner, 5 seconds on the shot clock, finds Thomas Chilton inside. They get it out to Stajic. He puts it up from the three. It just rims out. Thomas Chilton with the offensive rebound. Stajic gets it out. A beautiful shot there by, we don't have a number 3 on our roster.
That's okay. He looks awesome.
It was a great shot. Keyshawn Saunders up top to Barthélemy. "15 seconds on the shot clock. Barthélemy setting something up, slowing it down for this Orangeville team. Over to Brezdikas. Brezdikas drives middle, puts it up off the glass. It's no good. Stajic now. He's on the run. Over to Chilton. There's going to be a foul called. What a late call. That one's going to go to Keyshawn Saunders for holding.
And Rise got away with one there. As you could see, Chilton.
They had already had time to kind of argue with each other on the floor before that was even called.
Yeah, and those two, him and Kenyon, having a very animated conversation on the floor as the foul was called. And I guess they're now kind of both looking at each other going, whew.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Saved by the bell. Lukomsky over to Kenyon. Kenyon right back to Lukomsky. He gets it into Thomas Chilton down low. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Chilton right back out to Lukomsky, and it's short. He gets his own rebound, puts it back up, and that one's good. That's what happens, right, when you get 4 or 5 chances to put it in.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a team in the United States or Canada that's done so much great offensive rebounding on Orangeville Prep with my own eyes live.
Saunders just long, a big rebound by Kenyon.
This is such an impressive output here by the Rise, giving themselves second chances. They just got to knock them down.
Stajic kicks it out, and Vladimir Lukomsky sinks the triple. 3 seconds now. Shamar Rathan-Mates puts it up. That one's no good. No foul called. At the end of the first half, it's 37-31 Orangeville Prep over Rise.
What a game we have so far, Kelsey. I mean, this was built to be a game between 2 undefeated teams. Really, you know, 2 teams that we wouldn't be shocked to see if we were playing each other in the finals at this point. And of course, I know that's early. We're only three games in respectively for Orangeville Prep, 4 games in respectively for Rise. But just looking at the athletic talent that we've seen on the floor here, the back and forth, really kudos goes to the Rise Prep. After that timeout, kind of slowing down Orangeville Prep, dominating the offensive boards in that final 2 minutes. I think that was a huge factor is why they can still kind of hold their heads high with a only trailing by 6.
Why it was an 11-point lead, and now it's a 6-point lead. Absolutely. Guys, 9.5 minutes left to go in the half. We'll be back a couple minutes before tip-off to let you know the leading scores, let you know what's going on, and we'll be back in about 9. Welcome back to OSBA TV. We're seconds away from second half action. Kelsey Wright-Johnson, Ryan Greco bringing you today's game. Right now it's 37-31, Orangeville Prep over the Rise Prep Wolfpack. At the end of the first half, it's Ignas Brezdikas for Orangeville Prep leading all scorers in the game with 11 points. Behind him, Keechon Saunders with 10. For the Rise team, they are led by Ramir Moore, who has 9 points, and both Brandon John and John Akende have 6. It's Orangeville Prep ball coming in. Their possession first at the half. Here's Rathan Mays up top.
I swear I was going to say something, Kelsey, but just no time. The action is too fast.
Just nodding your head along with me. Here's Brezdikas from the dunker spot. Turnaround, Kobe, jumper, no good. Big rebound for Moore.
I like that shot a lot, though. You know, the more he gets used to using that shot, the deadlier it's going to be at the next level.
The turnaround Kobe.
Yep.
That's what I call it.
It's almost unblockable. It's actually my favorite shot on the floor, Kelsey. I actually love that shot. I used to hate playing in the post. Now as an old grown man that can't jump 2 inches off the ground, it's the greatest thing in the world.
That foul goes to Joe Jones of Orangeville Prep. And it's Ramir Moore at the charity stripe for 2. First one is short. I mean, Ryan, it's easy to see why it would be short in a game like today because Ramir Moore has barely come off of the floor so far in this game. Fatigue does set in, not usually 25 seconds after a 10-minute break, but I mean, your legs get tired.
Oh, absolutely. And once again, you can't stop talking about the athleticism of both of these teams, which means both teams are going to get burned out a little bit quicker. Now, this is where the advantage is for Rise Prep. They have more bodies on the bench. Let's see if they can use that.
Brezdikas goes up, and there's a foul on the other end, and they're going to call that an intentional foul, Ryan. I think it's going to go to David Munecat for kind of undercutting his foot as he went up for the layup on the right-hand side. Yeah,
you could just see there as Brezdikas was going up, he clearly went up straight, but then for some reason he kind of went to the side when he went for the layup, and you know most players tend to not do that by themselves, so it just kind of looks like something there where, you know, it was kind of a more easier call for the refs, to be honest. You know, anytime you undercut a player, there's an opportunity there for an injury. You don't want that to happen, and you kind of always have to call to remind the players, hey, that's never going to be allowed. So,
well, on top of that, they've changed the rule. We did talk about this in the game last week. Excuse me. They changed the rule of intentional fouls this year. So anything not going towards the ball, like anything. Because before, of course, I always use this as an example. End of game when it's close and you're trying to stop the clock, you go for the body, you try and get the foul. Anything like that where it's not going for the ball at all is going to be called an intentional. And just like that, when it's at his feet, it's going to be an intentional foul. So maybe last year that wouldn't have been the call. It would have just been a regular foul. This year they're being a little more, let's say, harsh.
Yeah. I swear, are you sure you're not doing any side reffing that we don't know about? Maybe
my mom is a referee in the OUA. I'm gonna say the best
awesome.
referee.
You are like you're literally my rule book sage every single week. You always get me out of jams with this stuff.
Matthew Alexander Moncrief down the middle, can't get it to fall, gets his own rebound, goes up, and there's a foul on the play. That one's going to go against Brandon John.
And Kelsey, how about Moncrief? We actually haven't seen him on the floor in that first half.
He got on early foul trouble early in the first quarter. He had 2 fouls, and the coach sat him the entire second quarter. Now he's back out there, so he's got 2 fouls, but in the third, it's a little better than when you got 2 in the first.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, you know, that kind of goes back to getting the you said it best, the bus legs out from under you. Of course, anyone who's tried to make that trip from Orangeville over to Brantford, more or less in the middle of rush hour traffic, it's a very, very difficult ride. Now imagine being 6'5" in a bus trying to do that.
In a minivan.
Yeah, or 6'10".
Here's Moore up top into Brandon John. John, the reverse off the glass, no good. 3 Orangeville Prep players going for the rebound there. Much nicer to see than what we saw earlier. There's a steal there by Dawson John. He gets it up to Big Bro. Brandon John puts down the jam.
A big throw down there by John. Let him know off the fast break. Excellent find. Rise Prep now trying to get themselves back into this game.
Saunders pulls up. It's good for 2 points.
And Saunders, my goodness. Now, how many times have we seen that? Just a little quick mid-range jumper. Just such a great form he has when he's going up.
Yeah, his mid-range has really improved over the 3 years that he's been with the academy. Here's Moore over to Stajic. Up to Moore. Over to Akende. He pulls up from deep. That one just off the mark. Big rebound by Keyshawn Saunders.
You can see if you have the bigs underneath Akende, he's prone to taking shots like that every now and then, but really, if you're not really getting anything working on the inside and you have the space and you have the range, I mean, why not go for it?
A big steal here. Now here's Akende on the open court. Matthew Alexander Moncrief gets back. Brandon John goes for the slam. No foul called, no basket. Great defense by the two on Orangeville. Keyshawn Saunders, that would have been a dagger, but it just doesn't fall. Moore comes down with the board. Moore now gets it out to Akende from the corner. That one, no good. Big rebound by Stajic. He's wide open, just can't get it to fall. These offensive rebounds after offensive rebounds, someone has to box out, and it's going to be Moore at the foul line for 2.
That's got to be frustrating for the coaching staff for Orangeville Prep. They are not used to seeing their team get out-rebounded in their own end. It's almost something, like I said it earlier at the end of the first half, I actually physically haven't seen that with my own 2 eyes happen in a game in any of the years that I've been watching Orangeville Prep. So for Rise Prep to come in here and really kind of take advantage of those second chance opportunities is it says something about this team. It says a bunch, but once again, what we're also seeing right now is them just unable to capitalize, going 1 for 2 from the line there and not finishing those putbacks.
Orangeville Prep got to get it over. Here's Matthew Alexander Moncrief. Gets it out to Alanis Urbonis. He finds Brezdikas. Brezdikas now out to Rathan Mays. There's going to be a charging foul there, Ryan. Not sure I totally agree with that one. Looks like he might have just slipped, but it's a good save for Rathan Mays. That foul is going to go to Dragan Stajic. Yeah,
the blocking foul there for on Stajic. Once again, though, we're still seeing as Brezdikas launches one. No good. Just still seems to be a little bit of I don't know what the word can be, right? Guys are looking a little stagnant. And there's a big throwdown by John. Still down by 7, though.
Saunders gets it up to Urbonis. Urbonis slips, but is able to get it to Brezdikas.
He's got to get out of that corner. That's twice now he's almost got caught.
Saunders catches it over to Urbonis, gets it into Matthew Alexander Moncrief. He goes up off the glass for 2.
And there's Moncrief. Great finish under the rim there.
Akende, he's going to be charged with the charge as Keyshawn Saunders hits the floor. This is a fast-paced game, Ryan. It is back and forth quickly, almost like a track meet in here.
There you can see Akende completely committed to driving straight to the basket. Saunders saw it right away. He knows what kind of player Akende is. He knows that Akende is the kind of guy where, given his size, he needs to be aggressive like that every single time or else he's going to get rejected. But Saunders taking full advantage, full credit to him, knowing thy enemy.
Saunders gets it up to Matthew Alexander Moncrief, but he can't connect. Just loses it on the alley-oop.
And both teams just can't seem to get in a scoring rhythm right now, but I think Orangeville Prep will still take that nonetheless as they have a 9-point lead.
Dawson John, the long 2, it's no good. Brandon John gets the rebound, kicks it out to Akende from the 45. That one's good.
Once again, Kelsey, I've never seen this before. The multiple chance opportunities. But
Matthew Alexander redeems himself after the missed alley-oop and puts it in. The jam on the other end.
And this is a pattern we're starting to notice now. Every single time it seems like Rise is getting a little bit closer. Orangeville Prep just still keeping them at arm's length, getting baskets when they need them.
Akende drives baseline, picks up his dribble, turns around, puts it up, and it's good to the mid-range.
Yeah, that's a really nice shot there. Very clean.
Rathan Mays from the 45. It's a dunk competition and it's a 3-point clinic here at TRC Academy. Here's Akende, kicks it to Dawson John. There's a steal by Matthew Alexander Moncrief and it's a 2-on-1. A nice little Euro step and the finger roll is good for 2.
Wow, just a show off of athleticism there by Moncrief. Does a Euro step and finishes with his back of his wrist touching the rim.
And let's just talk about Moncrief as he gets the block there, Ryan. He's a 20-20. He's a grade 11 student.
Yeah, it's insane how much time he still has to grow.
Rathan Mays misses the 3. Here's Akende now. Akende drives and it's going to be Rathan Mays with the foul.
Looks like there's going to be a substitution here. Brezdikas is coming out.
He'll put Joe Jones into the game. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left to go in the third, Ryan.
And really just, you know, as you can see, there's going to be a timeout that's being called here. Timeout for Orangeville Prep. Really one thing I'm taking away from this so far, Kelsey, is the fact that, you know, as great and as impressive of the effort that we're seeing from Rise Prep, they just can't seem to stop Orangeville Prep when they need to the most to try and carve into that lead a little bit, and full kudos goes to Orangeville Prep. Yes, they're getting outworked in the blocks right now. They really are. There's no question about it. But every single time they've needed a bucket, one of their guards has stepped up and knocked down a huge three, or one of their forwards has slashed to the lane on a fast break and a nice finish at the rim. They've done everything they've needed to do to keep this team at bay so far.
Well said, Ryan. Now we'll be back after a quick timeout. Welcome back to OSBA TV. 4 minutes, 52 seconds left to go in the third. It's 53-43 Orangeville Prep over Rise Prep. It's Rise Prep ball on the baseline, 19 seconds on the shot clock.
It's going to be big here. See, Rise Prep, you know, they've shown us that they can score points, but can they get the stop on the other end? Let's see if they can cut into it here a little bit.
Here's Akende up top. Akende pulls back, a nice pass into Rise Prep, but it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Orangeville Prep ball on the baseline.
Yeah, I don't know about that one there, Kelsey, to be honest. It did look like there was clearly a deflection, and it looked like it was clean through the legs of
Moncrief.
Yeah, of Moncrief, and also through Kenyon, though. But referee's a little bit closer than us, so it's going to be Orangeville ball.
Keyshawn Saunders out to your bonus, puts it up from the three. It's no good. Now it's here. Akende on the fast break, pulls it back, 20 seconds on the shot clock. It's a steal from Keyshawn Saunders.
And that's not the kind of pass you ever want to do against Orangeville Prep. They've got too many leapers in the middle there. Way too many. Not a good pass.
Keyshawn Saunders sees the lane, sees his old teammate in Thomas Shilton and attacks him, just can't get it to fall. A nice behind the back by John Akende. The Euro step, he goes up, it's no good. The rebound goes to Moore. And there's a foul on the rebound.
Now, Kende, one thing you got to kind of be mindful of, this is something that he was known for in Father Henry Carr. Sometimes he starts to getting a little bit trigger happy. You see, he had a defender right on him, wide open teammate in the corner looking for that three. Instead, he tries to take on the defender by himself. He's got to start distributing a little bit more rather than shooting. As you can see, he's going ice cold now. You know, he's got the bodies and the athletic guys to play with him, and I think he's probably taking his last shot here. It looks like there's going to be Stajic is going to come back in for him. This is a good call by the coaching staff. He needs to cool down a little bit.
10 seconds on the shot clock now. Orangeville Prep on the other end. Barthélemy pulls up from the three. That one just a bit short. Thomas Shilton with the board.
One thing I want to say about Chilton real quick, he's beefed up a little bit in the offseason. He's going after boards we did not see him do last year.
There's a foul, there on Ramir Moore.
Moore getting hit in the face there as Moncrief came down with the ball. And that's going to be a frustrating foul if you're Moncrief, because there really wasn't nothing he could do about it. As he was coming back down, Moore was right under him, and, you know, he's going to fall on top of him, but it looks like, yep.
That's a bonus now. So
yeah,
now
it's going to be on Moore. That's the right call.
Yeah, so M.A. Moncrief is going to go to the line for 2 shots. Keyshawn Saunders comes out, and Julian Lepp comes back on for Orangeville Prep. It's 53-42. Just under 3.5 minutes left to go, and M.A. Moncrief misses the first. He's got one more at the line.
Surprisingly enough, after seeing a torrent of offense in that first half, both teams have gone kind of quiet the last 3 minutes here.
It's that third quarter lull.
Yeah, really. Both teams just kind of left it all out on the floor in that first half, and now it's kind of like heavyweight boxers kind of testing each other out with a jab right now going into the 6th round.
Here's Akende. He's looking to get it inside to Kenyon.
I like this play.
Kenyon
Isolated.
battling hard. He puts it in for 2, and he'll go to the line for one more. That foul is going to go to Alanis your bonus of Orangeville Prep.
That was you couldn't have asked for a better setup there. Clear out, let the big man work. He's got the smaller underclassmen on him. He's got the size, he's got the height, he's got the strength on him. Go and finish with a nice soft touch, and to top it all off, he gets an opportunity for a 3-point play, but he doesn't get it.
Yeah, he's got 2 inches on him, but I'd give him an extra, I don't know, 30 pounds, Ryan.
At least. He's a big boy.
Julian Lepp out to Barthélemy. Barthélemy, a nice crossover out to Julian Lepp. Lepp drives, dishes the extra pass to Shamar Rathan-Mays up top, no good. And Sean Barthélemy underneath goes up, can't get it to fall, but there's a foul there on Thomas Shilton. Barthélemy at the line now for 2.
If I were Barthélemy, I wouldn't be too worried about missing that shot. I mean, you're trying to go up over a guy who's about 3 or 4 inches in height over you. Getting the foul is just as good. Go to the line, give your team a chance to breathe a little bit, knock down
7
your
inches
shots.
here. Sean Barthélemy stands at 6 feet, it says on the roster. Thomas Shilton at 6'7", and there was also Brandon Kenyon, 6'10", in that same kind of vicinity.
Yep. And that just goes to speak to Kelsey, to the importance of boxing out, because it doesn't matter how big your opponent is or how small he is. You have to make sure you're there to preventing him from being able to get to the ball. And it sounds so rudimentary, you know, if you're a regular basketball fan, but it's incredible how many times you'll see guys like that just because they get a little bit of a running start or because their opponent is just not being physical or paying attention or spacing out a little bit, how easily it is for some of these quicker, more athletic guards to just run under, grab it, and go right back up very quickly while getting the foul on them. You've got to be mindful of it every time. It doesn't matter if the guy you're boxing out is 6 feet tall or 7 feet tall.
Well said, Ryan, well said. Just under 3 minutes now left to go in the third. A couple substitutions in for Rise Prep and David Muncat and Ramir Moore. Muncat over to Moore. Moore finds the open man. Lukomsky in the corner. It's no good.
I'm okay with that movement, though. I like it as there's a foul on the floor here. That's going to be on Kenyon. And no, I'm still a fan of that movement, though. You see the ball moving around. The Orangeville contesting the shot is there, but it's not something that really should affect the release. It's good ball movement, but once again, Rise Prep, especially in that second quarter and here in the third, they're just not seeming to, they either get the shot and then they give up a shot, or they're just not knocking them down right now. They just can't get it all together.
Barthélemy puts the first foul shot in, and Ryan, for the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds, every foul that is called on the floor is going to be a shooting foul, and they will be in the bonus. A lot of fouls. We talked a lot about the first half, how physical this game was, and it's showing up on the scoreboard right now.
But one thing I am liking, though, is that it's physical, but it's firm. You know, it's fair. Guys aren't really talking too much. It's not getting over aggressive. There's not people trying to shove and talk ridiculous amounts of trash to each other. Personally, I like a little trash talking between players, but it's respectful. Let's put it that way. It's physical, but it's respectful right now, and that's a great sign of 2 well-coached and disciplined teams.
Your bonus charge with that foul, it's going to put Brandon Kenyon at the line for 2 shots. 2 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the game. In the third quarter, wow.
It's okay, we sat in that traffic too.
Kenyon nails the first.
And if I was Rise, I'd keep feeding it to Kenyon. If, you know, of course, I sound like a genius now after he just made his foul shot.
He's got the size advantage right now.
He really does. I mean, this is a smaller Orangeville Prep line. I mean, look who's going to guard him. Bonus is going to guard him, but he's going to need help every single time they isolate. I think they're kind of missing out on an opportunity here by not feeding Kenyon the ball down low. He's shown he can finish.
Barthélemy up top, drives, it's stolen. As Rise hits the ground, it's Kenyon in the open court, gets it up to Moore. Moore off the glass, no good. Kenyon grabs the board and puts it up off the glass. It's now a 9-point game with just under 2 minutes left to go. Here's Shamar Rathan-Mays up top for Orangeville Prep.
Big man getting it done down low, finishing once again. He's the biggest guy on the floor by about 3 inches. No one's going to get up there with him.
Barthélemy out to your bonus. Your bonus is doubled and he loses it. Akende now. Got to keep those eyes up. He had Dawson John. Finds him now in the corner. John puts up the 3. It's no good, and Barthélemy grabs the board. Barthélemy, he's going to go up off the glass. It's no good, and Matthew Alexander Moncrief slams it down.
You got to love his reaction. He just slams it down, hands it to the ref, walks back. No big deal.
It's like he does that in his sleep, eh? Kenyon over to Dawson John. The extra pass up top to Akende. 13 seconds on the shot clock. Orangeville Prep now showing a zone. They get it out to Moore. Moore wide open on the 45. It's good for 3.
Yeah, that's a real impressive shot there by Moore. Great job setting himself up. He knows he's got a little bit of time to center himself. Nice release. Here's Rathan Mays, though.
Your bonus to Lep. Lep just short. Matthew Alexander Moncrief grabs that rebound and gets it over to your bonus. Back up to Lep. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
I like this. Now figure something out here. Come on, you got to do something.
Barthélemy drives. The finger roll is good at the 0-second mark of that shot clock. Now under 30 seconds left to go in the third. It's a 10-point game. What a finish, Ryan.
What a finish that was. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. And there's going to be the foul. And Akende one more time. Attacking the rim.
That foul's going to go to Matthew Alexander Moncrief.
But let's talk about Barthélemy there for a second. He literally had, in 3 seconds, he went from literally half court all the way to the rim there, Kelsey.
To a finger roll at the rim.
A finger roll. Pro step, finger roll at the rim. Just unbelievable. And the hops on him. He had his fingers right at the rim when he was finishing that. Just an incredible athletic performance there just now by Barthélemy.
Barthélemy, a new addition to this Orangeville prep team. He stands at 6 feet. He's a 2018, so he is going to graduate this year. Any coaches who liked that move, make sure you get in contact with them.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, though, that's a sign of, that's a senior player there. That's a senior level intellect when you're finishing there. I know I could have said it better, but and that's going to be the 5th foul now for Matthew Alexander Moncrief.
Or maybe it's his 4th.
Because he's going to stay in the game, so.
Must be his 4th foul. 10 seconds now on the clock. Who you going to if you're
Akende?
Akende pulls back in the corner, puts up the 3, and it's just short at the end of the third quarter. Ryan, it's 61-52 Orangeville over Rise Prep.
And really, we saw some great highlights, some excellent effort on the offensive boards for Rise. I think that's the #1 thing they had going for them so far in this game. Unfortunately, though, it just seems like some players are getting a little bit too trigger happy, taking some unnecessary shots or not finding the open man and trying to attack it and do it themselves. If Rise Prep can kind of steer themselves away a little bit from that, maybe start feeding the big man down low as we talked about. There was an opportunity. I really do feel like that was a missed opportunity, Kelsey. If Rise Prep had gotten an opportunity.
To go into Kenyon.
Not just to Kenyon, but as well to go into John, go into some of these bigger bodies that you had, because that was a very long and slim lineup that Orangeville Prep was putting out there. And all credit goes to that lineup, though. They got it done. When there was no Jones on the floor, everybody else stepped up on helping on team.
And now Jones is back on the floor.
Exactly, and you're not going to get that same mismatch anymore. And as a result of that, Orangeville Prep is put themselves in a great position to come away with the W here if Rise Prep can't seem to kind of put it together as offensively on the team, as a team.
And if you're Rise Prep, Ryan, what's the one thing you're going to have to do now that Joe Jones is back on the floor? Like you said, you're not going to get that mismatch, so who are you going to? It doesn't look like Akende's going to start this fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, really right now, you just got to keep moving the ball and finding the open shot, especially if you find – look, both of these teams can shoot the 3. So if you've got a zone defense set up, you got to make sure that you're working inside and out very quickly, making crisp, clean passes, no one panicking. And when you find yourself – don't get yourself either caught in those corners. Make sure you're moving around and keeping yourself open. But if you got the open three-point shot, take it. Orangeville Prep, on the other hand, if you're playing when you're playing defense on that, especially if it's a man-to-man, these guys have to make sure they're attacking the basket. Rise Prep, if they've got their man-to-man set up, work off a switch, work off a screen, get Kenyon on a mismatch, possibly on a Brzdikis or on an Urbonis, possibly get one of the high scorers into foul trouble, or make sure that there's a guy out here that Jones has to guard on the perimeter. You can do these sort of things, and Rise Prep can get themselves right back into this game.
Stajic to Moore. Orangeville Prep showing his own.
Oh,
they
wow.
get it into Munecat and a almost wide open Brandon Kenyon. He misses the jam, and there's going to be a foul called on Rise Prep.
Now Kenyon, that's a dunk in the third quarter. That's a dunk, but because Jones is on the floor now guys aren't moving the ball. Now they want to move the ball around when there's a big man already on the inside. Excellent cut, excellent find, excellent feed. Everything was perfect. And in the third quarter, that would have been a poster. But now it's a block because Jones is on the floor. Missed opportunity.
That's 5 fouls, Ryan, on Dragan Stajic. And John Akende is going to make his way into the game. That's an early 5th foul. If I'm coach of Rise Prep, I might sit him to start, have Akende go for a few minutes, and then put him in later in the game if I know he's got 4.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, it just seemed like at the time that Akende was struggling to find his teammates, and as a result, the coaching staff trying to figure something out here. But here we go. See if Rise can rise to the occasion.
Dawson John gets it up to Kenyon. Kenyon over to Akende. Akende drives baseline. A nice pass there into Moore. Moore still puts it up. It's no good. Brezdikas with the board.
I don't even think Moore was expecting that. It didn't seem like he was cutting full speed into the lane there.
Brezdikas gets it out to Saunders. Saunders puts it up from the three. It's no good. Joe Jones with a big board. Your bonus keeps it in bounds. He's doubled now. Got to find the open man. Gets it to Joe Jones. Over to Saunders now up top. Splits the defenders off the glass. It's no good.
Yeah, I don't like that take there at all. Saunders had an open look for the three.
Good decision there by Shamar Wraithen-Mason. Great finish by David Munecat.
And that's another downside, though, for Saunders to try and go in and walk amongst the trees, if you will, amongst all those white shirts, is now there's nobody to get back on defense for a quick basket if he misses. And that's exactly what happened.
Here's Saunders up top. He gets picked by Munecat, but able to get it into your bonus. Your bonus goes up off the glass. It's good.
I believe that was actually Kenyon that was on the floor there as well, trying to go after it. Excellent defensive effort, but Orangeville Prep, once again, just keeping it arm's bay, just keeping them away, not letting them get too close.
Ramir Moore from the corner. It's just short, knocked away, and your bonus picks it up. He's in the open court now, but it's a 4 against 1. He pulls it back and gets it to the PG of the Bears.
Yeah, good decision there. You could hear the footsteps, Kelsey.
Wraithen-Mays now up top, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it over to Saunders. Saunders drives, tries to split the defenders, gets it out to Ignas Brezdikas. He puts it up. That one just will not fall, and Moore comes down with the board.
It seems Brezdikas a little aloof right now in this second half. Interesting to see if he can get going soon.
Akende out to Munecat. Munecat back to Akende. Akende spots up from the three. That one no good, but Munecat the only one there to put it in for 2.
That's a huge breakdown in communication on the zone defense. Jones looking over to defend Kenyon, kind of had his eyes on him. Meanwhile, it was the only guy that was left there was Shamar Wraithen-Mays, and he wasn't going to, there was very little he could have done.
He can't box out 2 posts.
No.
Is what he can't do.
No.
Not a lot of players
He can do a lot of things, but that's one of those things he just can't. Once again, it just seems like both of these teams kind of caught in a bit of a lull. A rather low-scoring game for both of these teams who are used to going up to the 90s and 100s. But this is going to be one of those grind-em-out wins on the road if Orangeville Prep can pull it off.
Ignas Brezdikas puts up the 3. That one no good. And like you said, your bonus is going to get charged with that foul, Orion. But as you were talking about, Rise has been pretty consistent in their scoring, 103, 85, 98.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're always getting up to that 80 mark right now, sitting at 56.
Yeah, and who knows? This game still has a lot of time left. It could open up. I just want to talk about her bonus there for a quick second. So what, was the foul because he was tall? Or I don't know. That just seemed like a pretty clean play to me.
From the corner, Moore chucks in a 3.
Excellent shot there. And now Rise, a little mini run now.
Joe Jones goes up off the glass to put an end to that run.
Every time, Kelsey. It's just every chance they think they've got, nope, Orangeville Prep comes right back.
6 minutes, 35 seconds left to go in the game. It's Akende up top. Gets it over to Moore. Moore finds John in the middle. What a finish.
Excellent. And John, you can see he's kind of got a little sly smile there going, oh, thank you. Thank you so much for going in. Excellent pass, though. Got to see more of that from Rise.
Shamar Wraithen-Mays up top, setting up a play for this Orangeville Prep team. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It's in the hands of Brezdikas. Brezdikas, the step back from the corner. That one is no good. And the rebound goes to Brandon John.
Brezdikas' shooting woes continue there. Kudos, though, to Rise, keeping him off balance.
Dawson John, no good. Brezdikas with the rebound. Brezdikas now at the 45, pulls up from the 3. That one off the mark. That's 4 in a row now, Ryan.
Yeah, he's struggling out there right now. A rare off night for him.
Akende, no good. Can't get it to fall. It's going to be a jump ball, and that possession is going to go to Orangeville Prep. 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go in the game. Matthew Alexander Moncrief will sub into the game for Alanis. Your bonus.
I like this substitution. This is opportunity here for a couple of really athletic players coming on the floor. Moncrief a little bit more experience than Urbonis in these situations. He's got a little bit more in athleticism. He's also very capable of hitting the outside shot.
Barthélemy up top for Orangeville Prep. Comes off the screen. There is going to be a foul there on number 11, Brandon Kenyon.
Yeah, that was an easy call for the referee. I mean, you can't just force a guy into the line like that. And he's trying to say, oh, he's holding my arm, and I'm sure the referee's saying back to him, yeah, because he was about to fall.
From the push.
Yeah, he was about to fall from you literally pushing him with your arms and your body.
5 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the game. Ryan, it's a 4-point game, 65-61. We're still very far away from a bonus situation here in the last quarter.
Yeah, full credit, though, going to Rise Prep. They've been keeping pace this entire second half here.
Shamar Rathan Mays, what a finish, and he jumps up to get back on defense.
We're always due for one of those a game, Kelsey. Rathan Mays, excellent finish at the rim.
Brandon John down low. That one falls. And Joe Jones is going to get the foul. Brandon John will go to the line for one extra.
And Brandon John, that was his strong suit last year. Little mid-range turnarounds and spot-up jumpers, something he did oh so well for TRC Academy last year. This year with Rise Prep. A great finish with the contact. You can just see he's just getting more and more polished with every year.
Brandon John standing at 6'10". He's a 2018 graduate.
Right out of Brantford.
There we go, hometown hero sinks
right.
the foul shot with 5 minutes left to go in the game. Rathan Mays into Joe Jones. They get it out to Barthélemy. He drives, puts up the floater. That one off the back rim, and it goes off of Brandon John's hands, out of bounds. Orangeville ball on the baseline, 10 seconds on the shot clock.
I think I can finally quantify what exactly is kind of going on with both of these teams. They're not doing the extra pass. There's a lot of lack of the extra pass here. As you could see, Barthélemy was kicking in there, and you could see he didn't even look around the floor. He didn't even realize that Keyshawn Saunders was literally standing out there at the three-point line by himself, and he's one of the better shooters in this league. That's one of those opportunities to try and feed him the ball there instead of trying to go up against 3 or 4 guys with 6 or 7 inches on you. Just a lot of lack of the extra pass on both sides.
Kenyon puts up the 3. It's no good. Matthew Alexander Moncrief grabs the board. Here's Keyshawn Saunders. Up to Rathan Mays. That was a close one, Ryan.
Yeah.
Rathan Mays back to Moncrief. This one will be a long 2. If it goes, it's no good, and Brandon John pulls down the board.
Once again, you're just not seeing any kind of motion or movement or plan for Orangeville Prep on offense. They're just kind of trying to out-talent Rise Prep, if you will, with some of these shots.
Here's Moore. Pulls up. This one will be a long 2. If it goes, no good. Keyshawn Saunders gets the athletic rebound. He's on the ground. It's going to be a jump ball, and the possession's going to go to TRC.
People need to understand just how impressive that was just there. Brandon John stands 6'10". Keyshawn Saunders stands 6'5". He is right up there with him for every single jump. If you're listening and watching on YouTube right now, just rewind that and watch that again, and even just pause, and you'll see the height difference on them going up. You can't tell me the athleticism of Keyshawn Saunders isn't anything short of impressive. And he's given up some weight, too.
Absolutely. Now it's Rise ball. Akende gets it out to Kenyon. Kenyon up to Moore. Over to Akende. I thought he was going to pull that triple. Akende back up to Moore. Moore, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Right back to Akende now. It's a 2-man game. Akende looking to do something up top. Turns the corner on the right-hand side. Goes up. It's blocked by Joe Jones.
Yeah.
That's going to be a shot clock violation. It's going to go back Orangeville Prep way. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the game.
Akende definitely, you can see he's struggling just a little bit out here. You can see there's, he's got a bandage that's kind of falling out of his shorts there. And
yeah, it looks like he probably had his hip taped. And
yep.
It's coming apart, and that's a hard one to kind of unravel.
Yeah,
if you got tights underneath there. So he's going to have a quick substitution out. Vladimir Lukomsky comes out.
Lukomsky, here's a guy who, we've seen him take 2 corner threes. a guy who has found a way to get himself open on the offensive end. His teammates just got to try and find him at this point. Once again, we're just seeing a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of missed open looks from both teams. It's a big reason why Rise Prep right now is kind of cut into this lead now.
Here's Keyshawn Saunders, 9 seconds on the shot clock. He sees the lane, turns the corner, gets it up to Matthew Alexander Moncrief, and it's good off the glass for 2.
Yeah, those passes like those are few and far between in this game so far, Kelsey, but a great finish nonetheless. Very impressive in traffic by Moncrief.
Dawson John, great steal there by Matthew Alexander Moncrief, and that's going to, it should be an intentional foul, Ryan, because I'm not sure anyone was in front of him when he just got fouled.
Yeah, that was clear path.
That had to have been a clear path foul.
And the refs are going to talk about it here, it looks like.
They're talking to Shamar Rathan-Mays right now. And I guess they're saying it wasn't from behind. That's their rationale, it looks like right now. So they're saying it wasn't from behind, it was from the side. So they're not going to call that a clear path foul. I'm going to respectfully disagree. But it's going to send Rathan-Mays. There's no shot, sorry. Yeah, unless if they're calling it a shot. Okay, he's going to get 2 shots. And they're not going to get the ball. That's actually going to be a regular foul. 2 minutes, 51 seconds left to go. And Orangeville Prep has called a timeout, as well as subbed Ignas Brezdikas back into the game.
Yeah, well, you could see Rathan-Mays. He was trying to go for a layup there from the 3-point line, I guess, at that point. But as far as I'm concerned, though, let's talk very quickly here about that quick 5-0 run that Orangeville Prep was able to put together just now. Once again, this is what it's all about, playing like champions. And, you know, they're the defending champions, and they play like it in these situations. They're not having one of their best games. They are struggling in a number of facets right now in this game. Yet, regardless of that, they're still finding ways to succeed, and they're still finding ways to get buckets when they need them the most. Of course, you see it right there. Just when it looks like Rise Prep is going to be going on a bit of a run, and the big comeback is coming, and the crowd's getting hype, and they're finishing at the rim. All of a sudden, right back, boom, boom, boom. You're getting a quick open 3 from one of the guards. You're getting great finishes. You're getting steals at the top. You're having impressive lockdown defense at the top there on Akende and Moore. Both of them just really had nowhere to go, and that's just a testament to this team knowing when they have to lock it down and really when those possessions are most important. And once again, it's just a testament to the abilities right now of Orangeville Prep. But Rise Prep, of course, they're still right in this game, 2:51. They're one run away from retaking this lead, Kelsey.
Absolutely, Ryan. Talk to me a little bit before this ball comes in about how big of a loss it is to have Stajic out for most of the fourth quarter.
Well, he's a pass-first point guard, and that's always going to be a problem. There's really no true point guard on the floor right now other than maybe Moore. And we saw him play a little bit of point guard earlier, and it was successful as there goes out of bounds. And it's going to be Orangeville Prep ball. And once again, these are mistakes you cannot afford to make. You had 5 seconds on the shot clock. You're defending.
He'll have 25. Oh, sorry. He'll have 25 seconds now.
Yes.
Or you were saying then.
But I'm saying then. There was an opportunity there to create that turnover on Orangeville Prep, but you're knocking it out of bounds.
It should definitely be 24 seconds on the shot clock if they had possession. There's no reason it should be 14. Here's Barthélemy up top, 8 seconds now. Barthélemy drives and puts it in. How athletic and explosive is Sean Barthélemy of Orangeville Prep?
Well, I'll be honest, he's picking his spots. He's picking when to explode. He's not just draining energy for the sake of it. And that's once again, that goes back to a veteran move. Keep in mind, he's a senior. This is his graduating year. He's one of the smaller guys on the floor as the shot goes off. And that's a miss by Milner, and there's going to be a foul here. Kelsey, take it away.
Just waiting for the referee to tell it to the table. That foul is going to be on Matthew Alexander Moncrief, and that's his 5th foul, Ryan, so he's going to be out of the game. They're going to bring Shamar Rathan-Mays back into the game as Moncrief takes a seat on the bench for the next 2 minutes and 2 seconds of this matchup. And again, I'm not going to comment on the foul because I actually wasn't watching down there. Unfortunately, I was watching out here where the ball bounced. Did you see what happened?
Yeah, it looked like it just came off a foot, and we're in that situation here, but it's going to be Rise now. Can they cut into this lead? Now down by 7.
Akende puts it up, make it a 4-point game now, under 2 minutes left to go. His shot has been hot and cold, but hitting the hot at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're just hoping now at this point that he can still continue to either find open looks or get his teammates involved here.
Barthélemy sees the open lane, kicks it out to Saunders. Saunders with the answer. It's good for 3.
Ice in his veins. That kid has utter ice in his veins, brings it back up to 7.
They're going to bring Thomas Shilton now. Next stoppage of play, one of the better shooters on Rise as well. Akende, can he go back to back? That one just off the back rim. And there is going to be a foul there on number 11, Brandon Kenyon, holding the arm of Joe Jones. It's going to go back Orangeville prep ball.
You hate to say it, Kelsey, but you kind of knew that was coming. You know, Akende, he's got this habit of whenever he gets one shot down, you know, he kind of sees it as a green light. It's a heat check for him every time. And unfortunately, you know, that's a great idea in theory to keep going with the hot hand, but when you're taking shots 5-10 feet outside the three-point line, when your team desperately needs a bucket with just over a minute to go, you know, you've got to think a little bit smarter than that.
Rathan Mays turns the corner on the right-hand side. Tries to get it out of bounds off Dawson John, but it hits him instead. That's a bad turnover for Orangeville Prep with about a minute left to go in the game. They're up 74-67.
They just need a couple stops here, and this could be it for them. And they get one.
There's one stop, a great block there by Rathan Mays. Just denies John Akende. Get it out to Barthélemy. Barthélemy puts it up, no good. And a big rebound by Joe Jones. That could be one of the biggest rebounds so far in this game. Ryan gives them another 14 seconds when there's only 40 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah, that one kind of sealed it there. That stop by Orangeville Prep. It's very unlikely at this point. Yeah, and that one just did it.
Beautiful pass there in from Shamar Rathan Mays to Joe Jones.
Excellent
Jones
finish.
Gets to step around. What a beautiful finish. He was off balance. He didn't know where the basket was. He turned around in such a strange way, Ryan, but still able to kiss it off the glass and put it in for 2 points. Brings the team to a 9-point lead now with 31.2 seconds.
Crazier things have happened, but if Orangeville Prep wins this game, of course I'm saying if they win this game, the story here will be it wasn't pretty, but they came in and they handled business. They got off to a really, really slow start in this game, down by as much as 12. Claw their way back, shut down defense when they needed it, got out-rebounded in the offensive boards category, something that they're not used to seeing. So even when they're not playing their best game, they still find ways to win in the last couple of minutes, whether it was Saunders with the open three here, whether it was Jones with that beautiful finish there just under the rim,
or Sean
Barthélemy with an attack to the basket with 3 seconds to go from half court all the way drives to the lane and finishes at the rim. These guys are big-time players, and this is something that Rise Prep is going to need to be able to take away from themselves. If there's going to be anything, Rise Prep, I hate to say it, but they beat themselves on this night. If they lose this game, they beat themselves. This was a very, very winnable game for them. And we'll see if they can pull it together here. They're down by 9 with 30 seconds. There's still enough time to make it interesting, but this is going to come down for them. If there's going to be a story about them, it'll be about their shot selection and their inability to finish and take advantage of opportunities, because that's going to be the story for them coming out of this game. On the upside for them, plenty to learn from watching the game tape in this one.
And I think, Ryan, it's going to be interesting to see now that we've had a close game, because we've had a couple big blowouts that we've worked so far this season. But it's going to be interesting to see the rule change when it comes down to a game like this. With 30 seconds left, big shot by Brandon John there, but with 30 seconds left, you got to stop the clock.
Yep.
How do you go for the ball and try and go for the rebound at the same time? Dawson John knocks it out of bounds. It's Orangeville ball on the baseline.
Yeah, here we go. And as I said, it's 76-70 now, 2-possession game. If Rise can get the steal here off this full court press, they're giving themselves a chance.
Brazdikes is tripled, gets it to Barthélemy.
Dawson's got to get there quicker. He's got to recognize as soon as he sees that there's 3 shirts there, he's got to make sure he's going after the one passing outlet that Brazdikes had open to him at that moment. Unfortunately, he wasn't there for it, but you know what?
But I think I think you're happy if you're the coach of Rise right now, because he didn't let a pass forward happen. He let kind of a lateral pass happen.
Yes.
So you want to let the lateral or a backwards pass happen. If you're letting a forward pass happen, you're pretty much giving them an open layup.
Yeah, you're giving them an open layup, or you're giving them
the
foul.
But I also don't think they meant to triple over there. I think that was a miscommunication, more of a double, and then have that triple guy kind of back to stop that. So it's kind of what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, I don't have necessarily a problem with that, though, but we'll see how this game goes here.
Rathan Mays with the steal, gets it off Ramir Moore's foot out of bounds. And that's going to be the TSN turning point of this game. Shamar Rathan Mays has played absolutely unstoppable here tonight.
He plays every minute of every game, and you could see it right there, helping it seal out for his team. And I think that'll do it. That play right there just iced it. How many times have we seen him make those smart plays? And keep in mind, this wasn't necessarily a great game for him either. But once again, this goes back to Orangeville
He's a
Prep.
solid point guard. He doesn't necessarily have to
absolutely.
score. And I mean, we have seen a lot of unnecessary turnovers.
He's a national
this game.
team member. Like he's
a
one
starting
of the best,
point guard on Team Canada.
He's one of the best point guards in the country in any age. So he's always, even when he doesn't have a good game, he's always thinking of other ways that he can try and help his team win. And as cliche as that sounds, but that's a perfect example of it right there. Always moving, always playing to the very last second to give his team the best chance to win.
It's a 10-point game now, Ryan. 9 seconds on the shot, or on the clock, excuse me. Akende is up top. Shamar Rathan-May still not going to give him the open three. A big rebound there by Joe Jones, and that's going to end it. The final score, 80-70, Orangeville Prep over Rise Prep Wolfpack.
Yeah, one final thought for me, Kelsey. I can sum it up very easily based off of what I was saying earlier. Orangeville Prep, they came out like champions. That's what champions do. On their worst days, they still find ways to win. Whereas Rise is simply put, missed opportunities. Missed opportunities on both the offensive and the defensive end.
Well said, Ryan. Guys, a 10-point game here, but don't worry, there's another 40 minutes of basketball coming up. AI Prep Bears are taking on the TRC Wolfpack. It's going to be a great game. Ryan and I have you covered. Stay tuned. There's about 10 minutes on the warm-up. We'll see you then.